We had lunch with Thomas and Brittany.
Hey.
And Thomas gave me this, which I really appreciate. Thomas, thank you.
You're welcome.
I also really like your shirt.
Thanks.
It was nice to see Thomas and Brittany again, although admittedly we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with them. We met them over at Player's Choice, but we were already there for a few minutes, and then we grabbed some lunch across the street at Tanger, and that was it. They're going to be doing a little shopping today, and then we had to come home to get back to work. But before we get back to work, we're taking tea time.
Coffee today.
Yeah, it's coffee time today because we didn't have any coffee this morning because we woke up just a little bit. We slept in a little bit to try and recover from some of the lack of sleep we had over Christmas. Christmas is such a weird time because I was actually asking folks on Breakfast Stream the other morning how people's sleep had been, and it can go one of two ways. There's times over Christmas where people are getting like extra sleep, and then there's times that people are getting less sleep because of Christmas. And we kind of went towards the less sleep category. And we slept in a little bit today, which was really nice. So we never had coffee this morning. So instead of tea time, we're having coffee. And we still have some of these little cinnamon rolls that my mom sent with us. So we're going to have a nice little snack.
Nice little snack.
A nice little snack. And then...
How long did you heat them?
Well, I put them in for 30 seconds. You can't listen.
That was too hot the other day.
I know, but I thought we would let them cool down. You got to be careful. You got to be more careful. You got to live by my
You knew
example.
that was too long.
But I knew that I would let them sit for a sec.
You didn't warn me.
Well, I just thought it'd be understood if I was the one that heated them that they.
And I thought you learned your lesson.
I don't learn anything. Anyway, so we're gonna have a nice little Scaldy snack. And then start getting back to work, and then we'll do a game stream tonight of some sort. We're not exactly sure what we're going to do, but I'd like to do a Q&A with it. So we're going to do like a short game and then a Q&A. Chaz actually built in the functionality to support doing a Q&A live, and we haven't done any Q&A since 2019, so I want to do like the 2019 Q&A. It'll be the only one we did this year. But at least we will have done one, and we'll do it live, and we'll do it tonight. So it should be fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. I was right. It was fun. Doing a Q&A live was actually really interesting, and it was still pretty firmly rooted in a traditional Q&A that we would have normally have done, because people were asking questions, and questions got filtered through. So in that sense, it wasn't, complete madness. But also there was still that live element, because sometimes after we started to answer a question, chat would kind of have almost like a follow-up type thing where they would mention something and we would bounce off of it. And it actually helped a little bit, because on a few questions that were related to like games that you played this decade or whatever. Sometimes, trying to come up with stuff on the spot is difficult, and if you have an audience of several hundred people that are familiar with your stuff and have suggestions for things that you may want to possibly say, that can help a lot, because trying to come up with that stuff is a little difficult, especially whenever the range is like an entire decade too. When it's like, hey, what were things that you enjoyed this decade, etc. It's hard to come up with that. But that was fun. Also, the game that we played, I didn't even mention that, was Minit. We had planned to play Tiny Echo, and right before we went live, I had pulled it up to try and test it, and I found out the game only supports mouse and keyboard. Like, there is no controller support. And I was like, oh, that kind of ruined that, because we have no way to use a mouse and keyboard on the couch. With the way we have things set up. We just don't. So I was like, well, we're going to have to play something else. So at the last minute, we changed over to Minit. And Minit was great. We did that first, and then we did the Q&A. And I would highly recommend Minit. We played it on PC, but it's also on Switch. And the premise is great. You have 1 minute to live. There's more to it. And there's this huge map. It's a big adventure game, and every time you get an item, you keep that item even in death. So you keep respawning, and then you have a minute, to continue on, do whatever you want to do. And then there's different places that change your respawn location in the map. So whenever you die, you go and you try to figure out something, and then you might not get it, but you'll kind of figure out what you're supposed to do. So then you'll die, and you'll come back, and then you'll go back and you'll do it again, but this time you'll get it, and then you'll be working towards like a new spawn location. Then you'll set that as your spawn and use that as your hub as you walk around and do whatever. It took about 90 minutes, and then we played it a little bit longer after we beat it, just to do a few extra things that we hadn't done on the first round. So you could basically start where you left off, even though you beat the final boss, and then continue looking around. And it was neat. Premise was really cool. But the highlight of the evening was definitely the Q&A, partially because the Q&A went on for so long. We did... it did go on for a long time. You weren't getting any attention because we had the door shut. Huh?
Wow, wow.
Wow, wow.
Wow.
We did... the Q&A was really long. It was 2.5 hours or nearabouts. And it was just, honestly, it was nice. It felt special. There was something about doing a more formal Q&A. Well, a Q&A period after having not done one at all this year. We answered a lot of questions, some that were that had some more emotional answers. And it was just a really nice way to end off the year of gaming streams. And we really enjoyed it. It was fun. Huh?
I had fun.
You look so tired.
I'm very tired.
You're exhausted because you were painting, and we hung out with Thomas for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we came back here and we basically painted and worked until it was time for the stream. And now the stream is over. It is time to get some sleep because it went long. It went long, which we kind of had a feeling it would, but that's all right. It was good. And now we'll get some sleep and keep pushing tomorrow. Your painting is wrapping up, which is nice.
Yeah, it is.
And I am wrapping up, or getting close to wrapping up on catching up on all the vlogs. So like both of us are hitting these really high points of the year right now, and it feels good. It's a good feeling. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?